Hi there, and welcome to the first iteration of the book club. The book I've chosen to start off with is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. This is the version I have. Got this from my local library. They had several versions. They had only one hard copy, but they had audio versions and ebooks. So, there's several ways to get this. This one's by Ken Kesey. Not sure how to pronounce the author's last name. I will look into that more. I apologize. The specific version I have, I will write in the description because I know there's can be different versions of books out there. I'll refer to certain pages and it may be different, but it should be, around the same page number for whenever I reference a certain page or something like that, and whatever version you have, but that will be in the description of what exact version I have. Now, unfortunately, I decided to start the kind of book club idea around page 100 of this book, or exactly on page 100, so that's when I started annotating. So I don't really have any annotations for 1 through 50 or 50 through 100, but I can kind of briefly, I guess it won't be as in-depth as my future videos, but kind of briefly going over pages 1 through 100. And also, the reason why I chose this book, well, I looked up several articles and newspaper clippings about book lists, and for, kind of younger guys, that kind of fits my category, and books that they think are important to read at this age. And this one was pretty much on every list I looked up. I have seen the movie. I don't really remember much. I do remember the ending though, which I guess is kind of a bummer, but maybe it'll be different than the book. It happens before. I read all the Harry Potters. The movies were slightly different, so there will be changes, but I doubt the endings will be different, but I guess we'll see. So to, I guess, kind of briefly go over pages 1 through 100, having seen the movie, our narrator is Chief Bromden, but kind of the main focus is on RPM, or McMurphy, or Mac, as they call him. And every time I read him, every time he talks, I see Jack Nicholson in the movie. I think he was casted perfectly for the role. Honestly, I can, even though I don't really remember the scenes, I can hear his voice. I can see his actions, and it's painting a beautiful picture in the book. And it seems exactly the way that it should have been portrayed. So they did a good job casting Mr. Nicholson there. So what we kind of learn, Chief Bromden only pretends to be deaf, and he doesn't talk much or talk at all. And he's kind of our narrator, which is kind of a perfect setup for a narrator, because you can, kind of know his inner thoughts, which is all he's working with. But someone who is perceived as deaf by the outside world and who doesn't talk learns to be a very good listener. And so we can hear all the inner workings that are going on at the hospital, whether it be the staff. When he's in the staff room, no one can really, they all think that he cannot hear. And so we can learn their secrets and what they tell. And, he's kind of slightly worried that if they ever found out, he would be in a lot of trouble. But I think it's in the later pages, not 1 through 100, but he kind of discusses, he can see deeper into a person, which, if you're not having conversations with other people, it's kind of hard to find, you can think deeply, but discussing it with other people, kind of like how we're doing this book club thing, will allow you to get a deeper understanding. So, since he's been at the hospital for so long, with no one to really engage with and talk to, but only to listen. He's gotten very good at thinking very deeply and within himself. But I think it's a great way to perceive this novel. So that was a good pick for the narrator. And I mean, what do we learn? We so far we kind of know that Nurse Ratched is running the place and rules kind of with a, not an iron fist, but it's definitely trying to be her way all the time. And everyone kind of obeys her orders and follows her lead. And what happens is McMurphy is introduced. They're not sure if he's a psychopath or a just someone trying to get out of kind of like a harder labor camp that he was assigned to. Which my money is that he is not a psychopath, and he's just a really good talker, and he can negotiate his way into things that suit him best. But he is disrupting Nurse Ratched's kind of hold and grasp on all the patients, on all the staff, and just kind of her floor of the ward. And she does not like that. None of the acutes or the people who are more able to engage with the world, and none of the chronics kind of dared to cross her, because she does hold a lot of power. It's mainly up to her if you're going to be released, if you're committed. And it's kind of a tough spot to be in, because it's hard to just kind of roll over and accept your fate, which is not in McMurphy's DNA. As we've seen, he's caused a lot of disruption. He wants to get her goat, as he calls it, and he's making a lot of bets with the acutes on how much he can get her all riled up and everything. He doesn't quite understand the dynamic. He comes in here thinking that he can kind of be a disruptor, and there may be consequences, but he can live through that and kind of make the place his own. So I mean, I guess that's what we've kind of seen, pages 1 through 100. I'm sure I'm glossing over a lot of things. I apologize. I started the annotations late, but yeah, we know McMurphy is the disruptor, and the acutes kind of, some of them like him, some of them try to help him along with understanding how it works around there, but only when he asks the questions. McMurphy has to learn through asking questions. The acutes aren't going to really tell them himself, but McMurphy has definitely established himself as a leader, and we'll see what happens. Next video, pages 100 through 150.